Hello students and welcome to your English class. In today's class I have something to show you. What do you see? You see the months of the year and they all are in different colors. Why do you think they all are in different colors? They all are in different colors because each month is different from one another. That means to say, in each month there are different aspects that we need to know about. It could be about nature, it could be about the weather, or it could be about the season we are talking about. So let's find out in today's poem by Christina Rossetti, the months. So before we begin today's poem by Christina Rossetti, let's find out a little more about the poet Christina. Born on 5th December 1830, Christina Georgina Rossetti was an English poetess who wrote romantic, devotional and children's poems. So, she was a British nationality. Please remember, my dear students, this poem that she has written about the months is referring to the months and the weather conditions or the seasons that are prevalent in England and not in India. In England, they have 4 seasons in a year. That is, beginning with winter, then comes spring, then comes summer and lastly autumn. So she has written this poem, The Months, about all the variations that take place during each month. So please turn over to page number 41 in your textbook. The Months by Christina Rossetti. January, cold, desolate. Desolate means miserable, lonely. Why does she say so? It is because in January it is really very cold and people prefer to stay within the 4 walls of their home, and the streets and the localities are all isolated places or desolate. Nobody is around. Nobody roams the streets or the marketplaces unnecessarily because the weather is too harsh to bear, and that is why she calls it lonely and miserable. There are not many social gatherings, nor there are people mingling freely because of the harsh weather conditions. Now let's see, what does February hold? February, all dripping wet. Take a look at this picture. People are covering themselves with raincoats or using an umbrella because during the month of February they experience rain. So it's cold as well as dripping wet. Now let's see what happens in March. March, wind rages. Wind ranges. March, wind ranges. That means it's windy, breezy. So you can see things flying around. And the wetness is all gone. Now times have begun to change. The winds are beginning to change. So winds are moving with great velocity and speed. Let's see what happens in the following month. April changes. Birds sing in tune. April, you can hear their melodious voices or melodious sounds once again. So it is bringing back life again. The cold winter, the rainy weather and the windy conditions have all passed away, and now the birds have come back and are making everybody happy with their melodious sounds. Now let's see if this continues in the following month. To flowers of May. See, and in May it is full bloom of flowers. You see flowers everywhere blooming, and this is a very beautiful sight. So during this season it is really very beautiful to be in England with all the flowers blooming. Here in India too, we experience flowers blooming to their fullest during this month. In India, we experience summer, whereas in England, it is their springtime. Let's see in the following month. And sunny June brings longest day. See, in June, it is summertime. So, hello summer. So, they welcome the summer during the month of June. And they have the longest day during the month of June. During the month of June in India, especially in South India, it is a monsoon season for us. But in England, it is summertime. Even if we go to northern India, it is quite hot during the month of June. Let's find out what happens in July. Does it change? In scorched July, the storm clouds fly lightning tone. In July, it has changed. The times have changed. The weather has changed. Season is changing. Now, it is scorched. Scorched means slightly burnt. What is slightly burnt? The skies. April, May and June you have beautiful skies, whereas in July it has turned to a scorched sky. That is blackish grey clouds formed in the sky, and they have lightning tone. That is the lightning making its way through the dense black clouds. Now let's find out what happens in the next month. August bears corn. So in the month of August they have the harvest of corn. So you see corn all over the place. Next comes September. So in September they have lots of fruits. This is the month of fruits. So here, most of the fruits are ripened during this season. A lot of fruits are available during this season. Let's find out what happens in the next month. October. In rough October, earth must disrobe her. See, in October, times have changed. The season has changed. That is where the trees shed their leaves. Earth must disrobe her. Disrobe means become bare because of the trees shedding their leaves. You can see the trees are all shedding their leaves. So this happens in autumn season. You must have noticed it when in India around October to November, trees in India also shed their leaves to welcome the winter. Next, after autumn comes winter. So the trees are preparing for the harsh weather that is to come. Stars fall and shoot in keen November, and night is long. In November, keen here means cold. The winter season has set in and it is becoming colder by the day and even more dark, and nights have become longer. So as the nights become longer, that means November has set in and the cold season has begun. Let's find out what happens in the last month of the year. And cold is strong in bleak December. Bleak here means cold, dull and colorless. You can see the trees no longer have leaves on them, and it's all snowing and cold. Because of the cold, it is all dull outside. There is no greenery. Nature has given up. Nature doesn't grow during this season. So in a very brief and apt manner, Christina Rossetti has given us a description of all the months in a year in England, and you can identify a few common things with the seasons in India. We may not experience snowfall in South India, but definitely there is snowfall in North India, that is in Kashmir. So in Kashmir too, the weather is cold, dull and colorless during the winter season. You can identify similar season patterns in northern India. So with this, I come to the end of today's poem. I hope you enjoyed it. Let us look into the exercises that are given in your textbook. Turn over to page number 42. Proverbs. What do we mean by proverbs? A proverb is a short, wise saying that gives us valuable advice or tells us something important about life. For example, it says, one kind word can warm 3 winter months. What does this mean? It means that a person who speaks very kindly to you could make the cold, lonely and isolated winter months very warm, because during those months people do not come into contact. There is less social gatherings, just like how perhaps now most of us are experiencing during the COVID situation, where we have very few social gatherings. So people are isolated in their homes, are restricted to their homes. So if a person has a nice word or two to say to you, you feel very comfortable and cheerful. So those words can keep you happy during the 3 months of harsh winter season. Now let us complete the exercise on page number 42 in your textbook. D. Fill in the blanks with words from the brackets to complete these common proverbs. You must have heard most of them. They are quite easy to complete. I want you to complete this exercise in your textbook itself. 1. A dash in need is a friend indeed. And your answer will be, a friend in need is a friend indeed. 2. Make hay while the dash shines. Your options are sun or luck. What will the answer be? Make hay while the sun shines. 3. Better dash than never. Your options are sometimes or late. And the answer is better late than never. 4. It is no use dash over spilt milk. Your options are fighting or crying. Your answer will be, it is no use crying over spilt milk. I am sure you all must have heard about all these proverbs. Complete this in your textbook itself. Next, when we describe something, comparing it to something else using words like or as, the phrase formed is called a simile. For example, as pretty as a picture, as dry as dust, as white as snow, or as light as feather. And when you compare two things together, you use these phrases. She looks as pretty as a picture today. Or the cat is as white as snow. That boy is as light as feather because he is too thin. So that is why you make use of this phrase. Now let us complete the exercise in your textbook. E. Complete the sentences with similes from the box. Your options are as fit as a fiddle, as cold as ice, as good as gold, and ran like a deer. So let's begin. This is on page number 42. So the first one, the children behaved well in class. They were dash. What will be your answer? They were as good as gold. 2. I have recovered from my illness. Now I am dash. What will be your answer? Now I am as fit as a fiddle. As fit as a fiddle means a fiddle is fit. So you are as fit as that fiddle. Fiddle is a musical instrument. 3. You should have seen Arjun race today. He dashed. And your answer will be he ran like a deer. Deer runs very fast. So you compare the speed of Arjun with that of a deer. We didn't swim today. The water in the pool was dashed. The water in the pool was as cold as ice. So you compare the temperature of water to that of ice. So if it is too cold, we say the water was as cold as ice. Next, adjectives. You have already studied about adjectives. Now we will study a little more about them. Words that describe or qualify nouns are called adjectives. For example, sunny June brings the longest day and December is cold and bleak. So in the first sentence, we are describing the month of June. Month of June is sunny. And what about the day? It has the longest day in the month of June. In the second sentence, how is December described? It is described as cold and bleak. Now, let us know a little more about the types of adjectives. Adjectives that show the quality of a person or a thing are called adjectives of quality. For example, the month of October is rough. Here, we are describing the type of season in October. It is rough. Next, adjectives that show the quantity of a thing are called adjectives of quantity. For example, the chrysanthemums and dahlias were in full bloom. So here, the quantity full is the adjective that is describing the flowers, dahlias and chrysanthemums. Next, adjectives that show number are called adjectives of number. For example, 4 of the 12 months in a year have 30 days. So 4, 12, 30 are all numbers. So these are the adjectives that are describing the months in a year. Now let us complete the exercise on page number 43, F in your textbook. Underline the adjectives in these and state their kind. I want you to complete this exercise in your textbook itself. 1. We have enough money to buy the tickets. Now identify the adjective in this sentence. It is enough. Now what type of an adjective is it? It is the adjective of quantity. Next, 2. Is there less pollution in cities now? Which is the adjective? It is less. And what type of an adjective is it? It is the adjective of quantity. Enough, less, more, many. All are adjectives of quantity. 3. This building has underground parking. Identify the adjective here. It is underground. And what type of an adjective is it? It is quality. Adjective of quality. You are telling the type of parking that is available in this building. 4. 2020. February will have 29 days. Identify the adjective here. It is 29. So what type of an adjective is it? It is the adjective of number. 5. Everybody noticed your new hairstyle. Identify the adjective here. It is new. And what type of an adjective is it? It is adjective of quality. It is new. Adjectives change in the form to show comparison These forms are called degrees of comparison. There are 3 degrees of comparison. That is the positive degree, comparative degree and superlative degree. The positive degree is the simple form of an adjective. The comparative degree is used to compare two things or people. We usually add er to the adjectives to form their comparative degree. Look at the statement under the positive degree. Hari is a quick learner. Under the comparative degree, we are comparing Hari to somebody else. So, here the statement is Sam is quicker than Hari. When we compare two people, we add er to the adjective. Next, for some adjectives, we write more before the word and than after it. Under the positive statement, your sentence is, this is a comfortable chair. Under the comparative degree, how do we construct a sentence under comparative degree? That chair is more comfortable than this one. So here, when do we make use of more? When do we add er to the adjective? You have to take note of the syllables in the adjective. In the previous example, the adjective quick, it has a single syllable. Whereas in this example, the adjective has more than 2 syllables. Comfortable, comfortable. So, there are more than 2 syllables. When the adjective has more than 2 syllables, we make use of more. Next, the superlative degree is used to compare more than 2 things or people. It is usually formed by adding the before the adjective and adding est after it. Look at the sentence under the positive degree. Hari is a quick learner. Under the comparative degree, Sam is quicker than Hari. How do you convert it to a superlative degree statement? Nalini is the quickest of the 3. So, you are comparing more than 2 people. So, you make use of the before the adjective and you add est to the adjective. Next, adjectives that take more before them to form the comparative degree take most or the most before to form the superlative degree. Look at the statement under the positive degree. This is a comfortable chair. Under the comparative degree, that chair is more comfortable than this one. Under the superlative degree, the chair over there is the most comfortable. So, you are comparing that chair with the others and it is the most comfortable one. When you make use of more under comparative degree, when you convert it to a superlative degree, it takes the form of the most or most. That is complete now the exercise in your textbook. On page number 43, G. Fill in the blanks with the correct degree of the adjectives given in the brackets. Complete it in your textbook. 1. This library is the dash building in the town. Your option is famous. Here you are comparing this library to other buildings in the town. So, therefore, you make use of the superlative degree. That is, this library is the most famous building in the town. 2. Rabia is the dash swimmer in the school team. Your option is fast. Here again, you are comparing Rabia to other students in the school team. So, Rabia is the fastest swimmer in the school team. Next, Lekha is a dash painter than her sister Leela. Here you are comparing only 2 people. So your answer will be Lekha is a more talented painter than her sister Leela. 4. This is the dash sculpture in the gallery. Here again you are comparing this sculpture to the other sculptures in the gallery. So here again you make use of the superlative degree. This is the most beautiful sculpture in the gallery. 5. This park is dash than the one near Nina's house. Your option is green. Here you are comparing only two parks. So your answer will be this park is greener than the one near Nina's house. So with this I come to the end of today's session. Thank you for watching and I'll meet you in another video next week. So till then, take care.